I want to make it a goal for myself where once a month I read a book related. Oh no, that was wet. Morning guys. So I am hanging out at my dad's house. We spent the weekend here to celebrate my sister's birthday, and now we are gonna be heading back to Jacksonville pretty soon. But before we did that, I wanted to talk about the books that I am going to be reading for the reading rush. So first up we have this Boho, and this is a book that you can read completely outside. It's a super short chapbook of poetry. It's like the size of my hand, which is fun. So I'm gonna sit out here in a little bit and just read this book so I can knock off one book from my list. And then after that, on our drive back up, if my husband is able to drive, I will probably read Contact by Carl Sagan. This is a book that fulfills the challenge of reading a book based off a movie you've already seen. And so I have seen this movie many, many times. Matthew McConaughey. And I always forget that girl. Once again, her name is Jodie Foster. I always forget her name, and then like while I'm editing I'll probably remember her name. But anyway, I know Matthew McConaughey's in it and I'm a fan. So I'll read this book, which fulfills the challenge, like I said before, of being based off of a movie. Now the good thing is that it can also fulfill the challenge of being a book that takes place on a different continent, because that definitely happens in this book. So with all that being said, I hope you guys enjoy this journey with me as I read these books and sort out my life and recover from this sunburn that I have, even though I'm currently sitting in the sun, because clearly I'm someone who makes good choices. Also, shout out to my dad's mango tree and the mamey tree. You can't really see it behind these palms, but it's that bigger tree back there. Oh, there's so many things I miss about living in Miami. It's way too expensive. I could never afford it now, but it's such a beautiful city. I love it here. All right, see you guys later. Morning guys. So it is currently Wednesday, July 22nd, and I did not film anything yesterday because yesterday was a very chaotic day, but I did read some books. So I read Redwall, the graphic novel for the reading rush, and I'm also currently in the middle of Contact by Carl Sagan. I love this book. It is just so interesting to me, and it's put me on this sci-fi kick. So yesterday I watched 3 different sci-fi movies as I was doing laundry and working. I watched Arrival, then I watched The Martian, and then I watched Ad Astra last night right before I went to bed. So I think I'm trying to convince myself to become an astronaut, even though that would be impossible at this point in my life. But yeah, it's been pretty good. So my plan for today is to read 100 more pages of this. I've been reading 100 pages at a time. This book is very dense, so there's a lot of information in here, and if I don't pace myself, then I get lost in the words sometimes. So I'm gonna try to read 100 more pages of this, and then I'll probably pick the Will Smith book from my Reading Rush TBR and try to finish that whole thing today. And then, yeah, I also have to get my oil change in my car and, just trying to take it easy, trying not to overdo myself like I normally tend to do, so I don't stress, especially because school will be starting in the next couple weeks. So anyway, that's it from me. See y'all later. Hey guys, so I do apologize if it sounds kind of loud. I have a couple fans going, but I just need to tell y'all, I love this book so much. It is so interesting to me. There is so much conversation around science and religion and business and economics, and it's all packed into this book. This copy that I have is only about 430 pages, so that's pretty good. I should be done with it by tomorrow or even tonight if I take a long enough break between readings. But Ellie Arroway, who's our protagonist, I love her as a character. I just love how smart she is, how hard she pushes, and how when people present information to her, she doesn't necessarily disagree with it right away. She just wants to hear like a good argument for something, and I think that's great. I feel like that's very similarly to how I think about things, you know. And she's willing to talk to people who are vastly different from her, so that is something that I try to do as well. And for me, like, I don't know, like I don't know why I was waiting so long to read this book. I'm really glad I'm doing this now. If you have any other science fiction like this, more on the realistic side of things, let me know. Drop down some recommendations in the comments, because I have always loved those kinds of movies. I've just never picked up any books like this, and I don't know why. My whole life has changed. So yeah, thank you to the Reading Rush people for forcing me to read some books off my TBR shelf. It's been great. Hey guys, so it is currently Friday, like in the midday, mid-afternoon, and I just wanted to give an update on how my reading's been going. So I just finished Contact by Carl Sagan, and I'm sorry, there's some construction noises happening. I'm sorry. But I just finished Contact by Carl Sagan. This book is 5 stars for me. I loved it. It's like, it has so many good ideas about God and the universe and understanding your place within the universe, and that kind of stuff is just right up my alley. Hard science fiction. I realize I need to be reading more of it, so that is my goal definitely for the rest of this year. There's one quote in here that I think perfectly encapsulates what I love about this book. Any faith that admires truth, that strives to know God, must be brave enough to accommodate the universe. And I 100% agree. I'm understanding my faith in a different way this year, and like, it is just so much bigger, I think, than an organized religion can possibly accommodate for. And that's okay. So I just need to do more, you know, studying of that. Next up, for my next challenge on the Reading Rush, I need to finish Will Smith, King of Cool. I'm 23 pages in, and the book itself is only like 100 pages, so it probably won't take me very long to finish, but I just want to make sure I get that done with, and then I'll have 4 books done for the challenge. I can probably finish this challenge pretty quickly. Technically, this book has my birthstone color on it, because I just noticed the universe is this like lime green kind of color, so I might just double up and count it for that. We'll see. And then technically part of the book also takes place in Japan and also in a different part of the universe, so it could count for the challenge of being in a different continent. But I want to try and read 7 books. We'll see, because the last 2 books after this Will Smith one I have, they're both over 400 pages, so I don't know how realistic that is in 2 days. But anyway, we're getting there. We're almost done. So gonna keep reading, gonna edit some more videos, plan some new videos, because I just got a bunch of video ideas this week, and you know, hopefully get my life together at some point. All right. Hey guys, so I just wanted to do a quick update because I just finished reading my second book of the day, and that is Will Smith, King of Cool. I actually kind of enjoyed this book. I really love Will Smith and I'm a big fan of his work. I was just realizing as I read this book, like a lot of the movies that he was in and TV shows that he was in, I like grew up watching because I'm an 80s baby. So I grew up watching The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. I grew up watching all of his big action movies from the 90s and early 2000s. I listened to his music. And I'm sorry, that's my daughter over there. But basically, I just really enjoyed like reading a lot of parts of this book. Some parts did make me kind of sad though, like especially him talking about his marriage to Jada Pinkett and then seeing all the stuff that's unfolded in the past few weeks with that. It's kind of crazy, you know, how things change over time. And I think if anything, this is just a reminder to me that no relationship is perfect. All relationships have their issues, and I'm better off not judging because I have only been with my husband for 6 years, well, 7 years now, and they have been together for like 20 something years. So it's really easy from the outside to judge that, but until you've lived that experience, you can't really say anything about it. So I'm probably gonna rate this book 3 stars. Next on my list for today, I have The English Patient, which is a historical romance about like I think a World War II soldier stuck in Italy and gets taken care of by an Italian nurse, I think, and then they fall in love. I don't know, it's a little bit of a Florence Nightingale kind of thing, but anyway, it's not that long. It is only, let me see, 302 pages, so that's actually not that bad. This book I'm a little bit more nervous about because I don't really like romances or historical fiction, let alone historical romance, so we'll see how that goes. But I figure, you know, this is one of those books that's been on my TBR shelf for a really long time, so if I don't like it, I can just DNF it and clear it off my shelf. I am concerned though because I have 3 more challenges to finish, and my goal was to read 7 books with this readathon. I don't know if that's actually going to happen. We'll see. But anyway, I'm going to get started on this. If I can get a good chunk of this done, then I can, you know, who knows, maybe I can read the whole thing today because it's only 5, so that still leaves me a few hours, especially if I stay off social media and just focus on reading. So anyway, let me get to it now. Hey guys, so it is almost 11 o'clock at night on Friday and I did a little bit more reading. I got like 30 pages into The English Patient. I've been babysitting my kids and my nieces and nephews, so it's been kind of hectic on my end. And I gotta say, like, I'm not loving The English Patient so far. I can tell it's gonna be like a very overwrought sort of European kind of romance, and that's not my thing at all, so we'll see. I'm definitely gonna give it like tomorrow for sure a try, but if I don't like it, I'm just gonna DNF it because I'm not really trying to read books that I don't like, and I have met my goal for the year of reading 52 books, which is super exciting. And so I just want to make sure that I'm reading because I actually enjoy what I'm reading and not reading to say I read a whole bunch of books this year. So with that being said, I actually found Contact, which I am so excited. I'm gonna watch that tonight before bed and just chill out and relax for a little bit because it's been a very long day and I'm very tired. So anyway, the lighting's weird. but that's okay. Bye, guys. So this lighting's actually a little bit better, which is cool. I'm figuring this stuff out, but I could not get the right version of Contact, which was really upsetting. It kept pulling up some weird Eastern European B movie, and that just isn't what I was in the mood for tonight. However, I did find a copy of Interstellar, so that's what I'm gonna be watching tonight, and I'm also gonna plan some of my next few videos that I would like to film. I don't really have the mental energy to read right now, but I do have the mental energy to just get some of these ideas that I have going down on paper, because I want to make sure that I really plan them out and I don't, lose track of them, basically. So anyway, here we go. Morning, guys. So it is currently Saturday morning. I am not sure that I'm going to be able to read 7 books for the reading rush, but once I finish The English Patient, I think I will have completed all the challenges, technically, so I'm not beating myself up too much with that. I'm not loving The English Patient. I don't find it to be particularly engaging for the reasons I talked about last night, but I'll still kind of push through it anyway because it's a fairly quick read. I'm having a hard time focusing on it because I don't care about the story. So, but anyway, I am still hanging out here at my sister's house, and once we're done here, we will head back up to Jacksonville and, I'll edit some more videos. I got a lot of work done last night, which was so nice. And I have so many more ideas. So once my brother-in-law gets back from the store, I'm gonna go for a walk. I'm trying to do 3 to 4 miles a day because of this competition me and my sister are in. And then once I finish my walk, if he's so kind and he decided to fix my car and do a quick oil change. So once he's done with that, then I will probably head back up to Jacksonville, and then tonight I will plan out the rest of the video ideas that I have and try to record some of those tomorrow. I also have to put up this vlog. I'm not sure how much I like vlogging. I like the idea of it, but since I have to edit everything on my phone because I only have a work computer and I can't download new software on there, it's been kind of a challenge to string all the clips together. So I feel like I'm learning stuff. I'm trying to get better about like the different effects and things like that. But vlogging is hard. It's difficult to maintain someone's attention for a long time. I'm also trying to make sure that I have a variety of videos on my channel. And one thing I think I'm severely lacking is single book reviews. So that's something I want to get better on moving forward. I feel like if I really love a book and rate it 5 stars, I want to dedicate an entire review just to that video, or just to that book. Even if it's only 5 minutes, I think that gives my channel a lot more variety than what it currently has, where a lot of my videos tend to be a lot longer because I'll pack in like 10 books at once or talk about some type of writing technique for a while. So we'll see. Let me know what you guys think about that. But anyway, that's it from me-ish. I'll probably still include some clips of what I'm doing throughout the day. Hopefully it's kind of interesting. Who knows? Morning, y'all. So it is currently like 8 o'clock in the morning on Sunday. I woke up about an hour ago, but I've been working on a couple things. And I just wanted to give an update because this will be the last day of this vlog. And I don't know if I'm going to do a vlog next week because they're really hard. It's a lot of work. But some exciting things have happened. So, one, I found out I won a writing contest, which is awesome. This has been a goal of mine this entire year, really, although I applied to this contest last year. So it's, it took a full year for them to like officially announce it. I actually found out that I won this contest a few months ago, but I didn't want to say anything until it actually happened, because I know a lot of times with small literary presses, things happen and, presses run out of funding, and especially with the pandemic and the uprising, it could be challenging for a small press to maintain a good amount of funding after a situation like that. But it came through. I officially got my prize money, and the pre-order link is available, so I'm going to put that down below in my description box if you are interested in pre-ordering, and then I'll make an official announcement video next week. But yeah, I did not do any reading of The English Patient yesterday. My brother-in-law was fixing my car and my sister was at work, so I just didn't have time to read. I don't know if I'm going to finish it today, so at this point I've only read 4 books for the reading rush, and I'm just going to call it because I'm tired. And I don't love all the books that I picked, although I loved Contact. That book was awesome. But it was a really fun week. I also did not get any writing done this week, even though I really wanted to, so I need to buckle down on that because I'm almost done with the first pass at my manuscript, and I just need to finish it. It's just hard, man. It's hard when you don't have anybody to watch your kids, and things like that. So anyway, this is me signing off. If you watched all the way to the end, go ahead and drop a handwriting emoji, the one that has the pen in the hand, and that will let me know that you watched this whole thing. But yeah, until next time, guys. Bye.